Hello everyone and welcome to the online lecture series by Shet Vidya Mandir English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce. Myself Jayesh Rajgor and today we are going to study 12th Standard Commerce Information Technology Advanced Web Designing, that is your chapter number 1. My dear students, in the previous video lectures we studied various form elements, that is the input elements. We also studied about the meta tag which helps in search engine optimization. Also we had a brief introduction about CSS, that is cascading style sheet, which is used to apply style to elements of your web page. My dear students, let us move ahead in this chapter and understand cascading style sheets in HTML5 in much more deeper sense. Yes, my dear students, CSS stands for cascading style sheets. CSS describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on screen, paper or in other media. Basically, CSS is used, my dear students, to apply style to various elements on the web page. My dear students, it helps in the greater outlook of your web page or your web design. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. CSS allows you to control the look and feel of several pages by changing a single source. My dear students, CSS basically follows a set of rule, and the rule set contains a selector and a declaration block. Yes, my dear students, the two main ingredients of CSS. One is the selector and the other is the declaration block. Here you can see how exactly this works. You can see the selector is nothing but your tag or the element which you want to design or style. Here H1 resembles the selector. Similarly, declaration block is made up of two things, that is the property and value. Property is what exactly you want to change, and value is about the value which you want to make sure that it appears on your web page. Here H1 is the selector, property is color, and the value of color is yellow. Similarly, font size is also a property and 11 pixels is the value for it. So my dear students, you can easily understand that selector indicates the HTML element you want to style. It could be any tag like H1, body, etc. Similarly, the declaration block can contain one or more declarations separated by semicolon. For the above example, there are two declarations: color yellow, font size 11 pixels. So in this way, my dear students, you can easily use CSS in your web page to style elements. My dear students, there are various types of CSS. These are the three methods of implementing styling information to an HTML document: inline CSS, embedded style sheet, or we can say internal CSS, external CSS. So basically these are the three types in which we can implement CSS, that is inline CSS, internal CSS and external CSS. Let us have a look at them one by one. Inline style sheet, that is inline CSS. My dear students, the name itself suggests that it is basically for making changes in one single line. Yes, it uses the style attribute in HTML start tag. So this start tag is used in inline CSS, is used to apply CSS on a single line or element. Basically a single line or a single element will be affected by using inline CSS. For example, as you can see here, my dear students, P is your selector, and then we have used the style attribute of this element. P style is equal to color, which is blue, and then the paragraph is given, that is hello CSS, paragraph close. So basically this part resembles your inline CSS. Here what we have done, we have given a selector, that is P, then we have used the style attribute for it, and then we have done the declaration, that is using the property and value. Property is color and the value for it is blue. So in this way, my dear students, you can easily apply inline CSS. Moving further, let us now see internal CSS. Once again, my dear students, the name itself suggests internal CSS. This is used to apply CSS on a single document or a page. So the above inline CSS was for a single line, whereas internal CSS is for the whole page or the whole document. It can affect all the elements of the page. It is written inside the style tag. Yes, my dear students, the major difference which you need to understand here is that the style attribute was used in inline CSS, whereas in internal CSS, style tag is used within the head section. Let us now have a look at an example and try and understand it. Here is a small example which will help you understand it. Here we have started with the basic tags, HTML head. Then we mark the beginning of CSS with the help of this tag, which is the style tag. The style tag is always inside the head section. Usually, my dear students, what we do is HTML head title, write the title, title close, head close, body start. But here we are not going to follow the same traditional way. What we are going to do is we are going to start the head, and under the head section we will start the style tag to apply style sheet. Here once again, now it becomes easy for you to understand. This is h1, the selector, then the declaration using property color and value red, that is the value for the color property. In this way, my dear students, you can see once style is applied, style tag will be closed, the head will be closed. So basically, in the head section, we are using style tag to apply internal style sheet. Then the program flows in a very simple and a common manner. Body tag opens, then we provide h1, that is our heading 1, heading closed after putting the heading. P for paragraph is started here, and the paragraph is closed after writing. This paragraph will not be affected. Body close, HTML close. When we save this file and execute it on the browser, we will get an output something similar to this. So here you can see, my dear students, this part is our internal style sheet. Here you can see the heading, that is h1, is similarly appearing in red color. As you can see, my dear students, as we applied CSS color red, so here you can see red color heading in the output. So in this way, internal style sheet is applied. So my dear students, now let us have a look at some important CSS properties which will be very helpful in the coming external style sheet videos. My dear students, property number 1 here is color. As you all know, to apply color to your web page or elements of the web page, CSS uses color property. What does this property does? Changes the color of the text. You can use the value as color name, yellow, blue, whichever color you want. And here is an example of the syntax. You will write something like this, a selector and then the declaration. You can use background color property to change the background color. You can use font weight property to darken the text, used to bold text, bold or 100, 200, 900. These are the weights or values which you will provide. Similarly, font style, this is the property to apply italize style property to your text on the web page. Text decoration can also be used, such as strike through, underline a particular text, overstrike a particular text, or to remove underlines. So text decoration can be used in CSS. Then we have text align. When you want to align your text to the margin of the browser, this property is used to control the horizontal alignment of any block level text, that are paragraphs, tables and other elements. Basically, these are the alignments which you can choose: left, right, center or justified. Similarly, we have a font family, once again to change the handwriting style, or we can say the font style. This is used to control the fonts. The famous fonts are Arial, Arial Black, Times New Roman, Copper Black. These are the basic fonts which you usually use in our web pages. My dear students, further we have font size property. This property allows you to control the size of the font in pixels. Similarly, letter spacing, this helps in controlling the horizontal spacing between characters of text in pixels. Once again, my dear students, also in points. Padding is yet another CSS property. This property is used when you want to add padding, that is blank spaces around the content of an element. My dear students, always remember this is mostly used in a table or a form. Similarly, border is yet another property of CSS which shows this property adds a border to a web page element. To add a border to your element, just like this table looks like, similar to this, if you want to add a border to your web page, you can use the CSS property border. Also, if you are not happy with a background color and you want to add a background image to your web page, you can use this property, that is background image, to set an image as the background of your web page. And lastly, we have yet another property called as margin left. Sets margin area on the left side of the element in pixels or point or centimeters. So in this way, these are some CSS properties. Let us now have a look at the external style sheet, or we can say external CSS. My dear students, the name itself once again suggests external means somewhere or the other this is a separate file. Yes, we are writing the coding in the notepad and saving it as .html, but here a separate file is created for CSS and the extension for which will be .css. Yes, my dear students, the external style sheet is generally used when you want to make changes on multiple pages. It facilitates to change the look of the entire website by changing just one file. So my dear students, once again, if we have a quick recap, inline was to make changes in one single line or element. Internal was for that one single page, and external style sheet here can make changes on multiple pages of your website by changing just one file. So this is a separate external file other than your coding file. It uses the link tag on every page, and the link tag should be put inside the head section. My dear students, once again, in the head section you are going to use the link tag which will help you in creating an external CSS. Let us have a look at an example for external CSS. Here you have a small coding, my dear students, which says HTML head link relative positioning is provided over here, and style sheet type is equal to text CSS href style.css. Now this is the line which you need to understand, my dear students. What are we doing exactly in external CSS? We are linking our coding page with an external page, which here for an example we have named it as style.css. What we are exactly doing is we will be creating one more notepad file in which we will be putting the declaration part of style, or we will be declaring the required styles for our web pages. Here we name it as style.css. And once we save it, what we do here is in our main file we will provide a link of that particular file. So href basically is for hyperlinking, anchor tag hyperlinking, and here I have given the source as style.css. Just after linking, my dear students, we'll close the head section. So basically all this is done in the head section. Once this is done, we start with the body, we put the heading and close the heading. Once this is done, my dear students, we'll open a new notepad and write this coding here. This is the coding here. H1 is our selector, and basically we are doing the same thing. Color navy, margin left 20 pixels. This is our style which we are applying. Now what I will do, I'll write this in notepad, I'll go to file, save as, and save it with the name style.css, not .html but .css. So this becomes my external style sheet whose link I have provided in my main file. So this file will automatically be linked to this one, and you will, when save both the files and check it in the browser, you will get this output as it is being seen here. So this will be your output. You can see color navy, margin left side it is aligned automatically as the both the files are linked to each other. So in this way, my dear students, you can easily perform CSS task. Practice these programs at home. Today we have completed CSS inline, internal and external. In the next video lectures, we'll move further and study some more interesting practicals of information technology commerce. Till then, stay home, stay safe, stay connected.